Hello, Weekend Crafter! Welcome back to the Craft Time Studio. This is Ange, your Weekend Crafter, and for this weekend, I'm experimenting with the crochet technique using polymer clay. If this is something that interests you, I hope that you consider liking and subscribing to the Craft Time Studio for your weekend dose of crafts. Before I start on my project, I clean my work area first. I find it easier working on a glass mat, and it's also very easy to clean. Just spritz it with some alcohol and wipe it down. I would absolutely recommend that you use an extruder for this project and a plate that has many small holes. This is because we want the snakes to be even. On the off chance that you don't have an extruder, you can still make snakes manually, but it will take a lot of practice to roll them evenly. First, I run all the colors through the extruder. I tried to think of the colors that I often see in crochet projects, and so that's what I used. Next, I'm starting with the center of the flower, so I'm using this bright yellow color. I get 2 snakes and twist them together until the end. This was about 6 centimeters long. I then rolled this out into a tight coil. Then, I twisted the fuchsia-colored clay. Once it's twisted until the end, I bring out my ruler and cut it into 1.5 centimeter in length. It's important to measure your clay so that you can make a more or less similar pair in case you're aiming to use these as earrings. I use a detail needle to bend the clay to form petals. I go around the circle and try to space the clay out evenly. I move on to the next color and do the same by getting 2 snakes and twisting them together. This is also cut into 1.5 centimeters in length. And then the ends are pressed together. These go between the fuchsia petals. To complete the granny square, I go around the flower with a twisted coil. Make sure that the square touches the edges of the petals so that the square adheres to the flower. I then transfer this to a small glass mat. It's still pretty fragile at this point, so to stick all the cut parts together, I brush the entire thing with liquid polymer clay before placing it into the oven to bake. This is how it is looking like once it's baked. Practice does make perfect because the second time around, I think I need a more even square. I'm tempted to call this a beginner's project because it really is just twisting and pressing down, but in reality, the twisting of the two snakes can be a little bit tricky as you'd like to have it look as even as possible. For a first experiment, I really had a good time making these ultra lightweight granny square earrings. By the way, I placed 2 jump rings here to make sure that the square sits on the earring facing forward. That is it for today. Have a crafty weekend. Bye!